Welcome back to my channel. Today, we are witnessing the collapse of something bigger than a marriage, bigger than a TV show. This is the slow, devastating death of a father figure. And the spark that lit this collapse didn't come from an ex-wife, a producer, or a scandal leak. It came from the quietest Brown child. For more than a decade, Truly Brown has lived in the background of this family. The silent observer. The girl with the books. The kid who dodged the cameras while her father chased validation in another household. But that silence? It's over. Insiders at a recent family gathering in Utah claimed that Truly, the child viewers thought was too young to understand the politics of this fractured family, finally spoke. And the words she allegedly said didn't just burn a bridge, they blew up the last remaining structure of Kody Brown's ego. According to witnesses, Truly was talking to her older sister Isabel. The topic was inevitable. Would Kody show up? Would he call? Would he make any effort at all? And that's when the quiet child delivered the loudest message of her life. Why would I care if he comes? I already have a dad here, who actually knows my birthday. David doesn't just visit, he stays. Let that sink in. David doesn't visit. He stays. That isn't teenage rebellion. That isn't manipulation. This is a heart that has quietly kept score for 13 years, finally speaking the truth. If this report is accurate, and sources say the room went dead silent after Truly said it, then it confirms what fans have suspected for years. Truly was not brainwashed, not coached, not influenced. She was simply paying attention. And now, Kody Brown is not fighting a rumor or an ex-wife. He's fighting the ghost of the father he never bothered to be. Because in this child's eyes, that title has already been reassigned. Before we go deeper into the story, hit that like button. It helps us push the truth past the noise. And if you haven't already, subscribe to SisterWives crew. Turn on notifications. Because Robin's reaction to this? We're covering that next. Now, let's break down the architecture of abandonment. Truly's alleged comment didn't come from nowhere. It came from a timeline of trauma, a slow, painful build of missed milestones, emotional neglect, and every decision that told a little girl, you are not a priority. She was called the invisible daughter. But she wasn't invisible. Kody just chose not to look. Let's go back, all the way back. Her entrance into the world began with absence. Christine was in labor, vulnerable, alone. And Kody? He was busy courting Robin. From her first breath, Truly was already competing with a new wife and 3 new kids. But the moment that sealed Kody's fate, the moment that rewired Truly's trust forever, was the kidney failure incident. This wasn't a flu. This was acute organ failure. Her eyes crossing. Her body shutting down. A child dying. And Kody was responsible for her at that time. Christine was out trying to fix the family's happiness. She trusted him. She trusted the father of her children. But Kody was distracted. Not by medical fear, but by juggling time at Robin's house. He didn't notice the dehydration. He didn't notice the warning signs. He didn't act until it was nearly fatal. And even after the hospital, even after doctors explained the severity, the emotional bond didn't reconnect. Kody made it about his stress, his fear. Meanwhile, a child remembers who held their hand. And in that hospital chair, night after night, that person was Christine, always Christine. As Truly grew older, Kody didn't protect her from illness. He didn't protect her from loneliness. And eventually, he didn't protect her from his own narcissism. Fast forward to Flagstaff. The move nobody wanted. The move that uprooted Truly from the only stability she'd ever had. If kidney failure was physical abandonment, Flagstaff was emotional abandonment. And nothing captures that more clearly than the no-hug scene. Truly, standing small in a driveway. Arms open. Just wanting one thing every child is biologically wired to crave, a hug from her father. But Kody steps back. He recoils. He tells her no. He blames protocols. He blames safety. He blames the family. But Truly saw what the camera saw. He wasn't avoiding hugs. He was avoiding her. And that is when the invisible daughter became the forgotten daughter. This is the architecture of abandonment, and this is the moment it finally collapsed. Because while Kody was refusing to hug Truly in that driveway, he was driving straight back to Robin's house. He was hugging Solomon. He was hugging Ariella. He was hugging Aurora and Brianna without a second thought. Truly saw it, because children see everything. They are the most accurate surveillance system on Earth, and they don't lie. She learned that day that the rules only applied to her. That affection in the Brown family came with fine print. That Kody's love wasn't unconditional, it was conditional on location, on convenience, and on whether or not your mother's name was Christine. That single step backward, that tiny recoil, created a canyon between them. To Kody, it was just a protocol. To Truly, it was a message. You don't need me. And then came the bike riding disaster, the moment that showed the world exactly who Kody Brown is as a father. Teaching a child to ride a bike should be memories carved in gold. A dad cheering, running behind the seat, letting go when the child finds her balance. Instead, it was a humiliation ritual. Kody was impatient, aggressive, more obsessed with how he looked as a teacher than whether Truly felt safe as a learner. He berated her. He made her cry. And when she cried, he didn't comfort her. He got irritated, as though her fear was an inconvenience in his schedule. He made the moment about his ego. I'm trying to teach you, he snapped, missing the most basic truth of parenting. A terrified child cannot learn. Truly wasn't afraid of falling. She was terrified of failing him. And then he confirmed her worst fear, that she was a burden. Now compare that to how he treats Robin's children. When Ariella acts out, she's spirited. When Truly struggles, she's difficult. Truly has been keeping score since she was 5. She saw him miss Isabel's spine surgery. She saw the tears, the agony, the empty chair where her father should have been. She saw him choose Robin's household over his daughter's medical crisis. She learned that Kody was a father for holidays, for camera crews, for the fun stuff, but when real life got hard, he vanished. Which brings us to today, and the David Woolley effect. Why is Truly's alleged comment, "David doesn't just visit, he stays," so powerful? Because it exposes the contrast Kody spent years trying to hide. Kody told the world he did his best, that the wives were impossible, that distance was their fault. And then David walked in, and with zero effort, destroyed that entire narrative. David didn't try to become dad. He didn't demand titles, respect, or obedience. He didn't bring protocols or punishments. He brought nachos. It sounds silly, but it's symbolic. Kody literally shamed Christine for eating nachos. He mocked her, made her feel small, unworthy, gross. David took her out for nachos and celebrated her. He posted online about how much he loved watching her enjoy them. He made her feel seen for the first time in years. Truly watched that. She watched her mother, who had been shrinking for over a decade, suddenly begin to bloom. And then, David turned that gentle, patient presence toward Truly.
No forcing affection.
No pressure. He earned her trust. Look at the photos from Disneyland. They are forensic evidence of emotional safety. In the last few years of photos with Kody, Truly is stiff. Shoulders up, eyes looking away. A child in fight-or-flight mode. But with David, she is leaning in, relaxed. Shoulders dropped, initiating touch. Smiling, a full, genuine, teeth-showing smile. That is what safety looks like. Something Kody never gave her. Kody provided chaos, fear, moving trucks, military-style rules, emotional landmines. David provided a ticket to Disney and a hand to hold on the roller coaster. And most importantly, David stays. Kody was always leaving, always watching the clock, always halfway out the door because the other family needed him. With David, there is no other family pulling him away. He is present. At the Tuesday night dinners. At the school events. On the couch watching movies. He is there in the everyday moments, the moments that matter most. David is doing the work Kody always believed he was too important to do. The quiet work. The boring work. The everyday work that actually builds a parent-child bond. And for the first time in her life, Truly is experiencing what a full-time father looks like. And guess what? She likes it. She prefers it. And who on earth could blame her? Because the tragedy for Kody is simple. He thought he was irreplaceable. He thought DNA was a lifetime warranty. He thought being dad on paper guaranteed loyalty, no matter how little he gave in return. He thought he was the sun, and his children were planets, doomed to orbit him even when he turned ice cold. But Truly has found a new sun. A warm one. A steady one. And she is never going back to the cold. Which brings us to the secret rejection, the quiet, devastating shift that's been happening in the shadows. If the explosive comment attributed to Truly is true, then we have already crossed the point of no return. And nothing cuts deeper for Kody than indifference. Attention has always been his oxygen, positive or negative. He fears being poor, yes. But more than that, he fears being irrelevant. And Truly is not angry. She is not shouting. She is not fighting him. She simply doesn't care. And indifference is the opposite of love. Indifference means he has lost all power. He is now just a stranger with a biological claim, a claim wiped out by years of absence. We also have to talk about sibling psychology. Truly is incredibly close to Isabel and Gwendolyn. Isabel still carries the trauma of her father skipping her spine surgery. Gwen has been publicly honest, blunt, and unfiltered about Kody's behavior for years. These two are Truly's role models. If Isabel and Gwen have drawn a line, Truly will follow. It's survival. It's solidarity. The siblings have formed a protective circle, a circle Kody cannot enter. They compare notes. They remember every missed birthday, every cruel comment, every moment he wasn't there. Kody can no longer gaslight them. There are too many witnesses. And now we shift to the psychological avalanche coming for him. Because we need to talk about Kody's inevitable narcissistic collapse. When this quote reaches him, and it will, because Kody reads the internet and Robin reads it twice, his reaction won't be remorse. A healthy parent would drop everything, drive to Utah, and say, "What did I do wrong? How do I fix this?" But Kody won't do that. Kody will attack. He will deflect. He will deny. He will blame Christine. He will blame the kids. He will blame the universe. He will not see Truly's pain. He will see an enemy script. He has convinced himself that Christine is some kind of Pied Piper leading his children away, whispering poison in their ears, a phrase he clings to like a lifeline. Because admitting the truth, that they left because of his choices, is a reality he cannot bear. He believes that because Truly is young, she's simply absorbing Christine's bitterness. But that assumption is not just wrong. It is insulting. It is an outrageous underestimation of Truly's intelligence. Because Truly isn't confused. She isn't manipulated. She isn't echoing her mother's trauma. Truly is the smartest person in the room. She watches. She listens. She stays quiet. And Kody, in his arrogance, mistakes her silence for ignorance. But Truly was there. She was in the room when he screamed. She was in the car when he ranted. She sat in the shadows while he weaponized loyalty against her siblings. She doesn't need Christine to tell her Kody was a bad dad. Kody showed her every single day. But Kody's ego cannot accept that. If he accepts that Truly came to the conclusion on her own, then he must accept that his behavior deserved rejection. And his narcissism cannot survive that truth. So he will blame Christine. He will blame David. He will invent a fantasy that he is the victim of a hostile takeover, conveniently forgetting that he was the one who stopped calling, who stopped visiting, the man who refused to hug his own daughter in the driveway. And we cannot ignore Robin. Robin has always been the gasoline poured over Kody's self-pity. Every time Kody feels rejected, Robin whispers, "I respect you. Why don't they?" She validates his victimhood. She nurtures his resentment. So if Kody is raging about Truly's comment today, it is almost certain that Robin is fanning the flames behind the scenes. See? They replaced you. They don't respect you. Focus on the ones who are loyal. Instead of helping him repair the relationship, the environment in the McMansion encourages him to burn the bridges and retreat into the fortress of Saul and Ari. But there's another fear beneath the rage, a financial one. Does Kody fear losing Truly's love? Or losing Truly's storyline. Truly is still a minor. A minor disowning her father looks horrific for the show. If the show is centered on a polygamous father, and the children reject the patriarch, then what is the show? Kody knows his relevance is tied to his title. If the subjects leave the kingdom, the king is just a man with an empty throne. The psychology of Truly's silence lets go deeper. Truly isn't quiet because she is shy. She is quiet because she has been gray rocking for years. Gray rocking is a defense tactic used against narcissists. No emotion, no detail, no reaction. Become boring. Become unengageable. And if you rewatch the last seasons, it's obvious. When Kody talks to her, short answers, flat face, guarded energy. But with David, the rock cracks open and a gem shines through. She laughs.
She glows. She jokes.
She breathes. Her silence with Kody wasn't her personality. It was her armor. Truly isn't shy. She's protecting herself. Truly grew up aware of the hierarchy. Robin's kids were the core. Everyone else lived in orbit. But in David's home, there is no favorite wife. No ranking of children. No emotional caste system. Just family. Truly has mentally reorganized her universe. Inner circle. David, Christine, her siblings, David's extended family. Outer circle. Kody, Robin, Saul, Ari, people she used to know. This psychological distance is necessary. You cannot heal from rejection while still begging the rejected for love. Truly stop trying to earn Kody's approval. That is liberation. Her comment, David doesn't just visit. He stays. Was not a sentence. It was a verdict. Guilty of absence. Guilty of favoritism. Guilty of neglect. Kody Brown has been sentenced to irrelevance in his daughter's story. He is no longer the main character. He is a flashback. A lesson. The before picture of a transformation arc, the digital door slam. Let's talk about the phone calls. The new battlefield. Sources say the calls come in. The phone lights up. Dad. Or worse, Kody. And Truly looks at it. She isn't blocked. Christine didn't shut the door. Truly did. And every time she presses the side button, putting the phone face down to return to her movie with David, that is the loudest rejection a child can give. He could have fought a legal battle if Christine had blocked him. But a daughter silently choosing not to pick up? That is the rejection he can't spin. The whispers get darker. There is growing speculation that Truly has begun distancing herself from the Brown identity, not legally, but socially. Online handles. School introductions. Friend circles. Some insiders claim she informally introduces herself differently, perhaps even as Truly Wooly. And for Kody, whose last name is a royal title in his mind, this is the ultimate betrayal. This is her saying, your kingdom has no power here. The two men, Kody versus David. To understand why Truly is running toward David, you must understand the man who stands in Kody's shadow. David Woolley is not just not Kody. He is the anti-Kody. A widower who knows the brutality of loss. A father who raised 8 children alone. A man who lived in the trenches while Kody posed for photo ops. Kody manages children. David parents them. Kody recoils from emotional need. David leans in. Kody demands respect. David earns it by simply existing. Truly sees this. And once you experience safety, you never go back to chaos. They see emotional expression as weakness, or worse, manipulation. Sound familiar? How many times is Kody accused a crying wife of performing? How many times has he shrugged off his own children's pain as disrespect? This isn't random. This is textbook dismissive avoidant parenting. For someone like Kody Brown, the mission is simple. Protect the ego at all costs. If a child gets too close, makes too many emotional requests, or asks for actual intimacy, the avoidant parent retreats, shuts down, or lashes out. That now infamous no hug moment was not an accident. It wasn't a flinch. It wasn't awkwardness. It was an attachment trigger. Kody felt overwhelmed by the intimacy of his own child asking for connection, so he physically backed away. A father walking backwards to escape his daughter's affection. That is the definition of an avoidant shutdown. The children. How dismissive parents create anxious kids. Growing up with a dad like this creates the opposite pattern in children. Anxious, preoccupied attachment. Those kids grow up scanning the parent like a radar. Is dad happy? Is he angry? Did I smile enough? Did I praise him enough? Did I worship him enough? We watched the older siblings do this for years. They competed for his approval like it was oxygen. But Truly is the anomaly. The curve breaker. She skipped the anxious stage entirely. She never became a Kody pleaser.
Why?
Because Christine gave her something the others didn't always have, a secure base. For a decade, Truly's world was anchored by Christine.
Consistent.
Emotionally available. Predictable. In attachment terms, that creates a psychological safety net. The child explores, grows, tries, fails, and knows someone stable is waiting when they return. Because of this, Truly never developed the frantic desperation for Kody's approval. She felt safe somewhere else. But with Kody, she learned something very different. He was inconsistent, unpredictable, unstable. One day, he's the goofy dad wrestling on the floor. The next day, he's the furious patriarch screaming about loyalty. That inconsistency is the most damaging form of caregiving. You never know which version of dad you're going to get, the clown, the tyrant, or the ghost. To survive that, a child shuts down. Emotionally, psychologically, physically. They stop hoping. They stop expecting. They start protecting. This is the gray rocking we see today. If I don't ask for a hug, he can't reject me. If I don't ask him to come to my birthday, he can't disappoint me. If I pretend I don't care, I can't be hurt. That isn't defiance. It is armor. Then another man walked into her life, David Woolley. Predictable.
Warm. Calm.
Boring in the best possible way. And for a child whose nervous system was raised inside Kody Brown's emotional earthquake zone, predictability is heaven. With David, she knows the script. He will be home for dinner. He will be kind.
He will be steady. He will stay.
When a child escapes chaos and discovers consistency, the transformation is immediate. You see it in Truly's posture. Her shoulders are relaxed. Her smile is real. Her eyes stop scanning the room. That's cortisol dropping. That's the body finally exhaling. So when she shrugs and says, "Why would I care if he comes?" she isn't being cruel. She is stating the truth of her attachment shift. I replaced my inconsistent caregiver with a consistent one. The biological link is no longer my lifeline. The fan theories. From Survivor's guilt to Robin's shadow now, let's step into the deep internet trenches, where thousands of hardcore fans dissect every frame. These aren't just comments, they're unpaid forensic analysis. User SisterWives Sleuth recently made a chilling observation. Truly may feel guilty because she got out younger. She has a chance at normal teenage years, something her older sisters didn't get. She sees Isabel still healing from the scoliosis trauma. She sees Gwen still processing emotional neglect. Truly is the youngest daughter of the escape. And according to this theory, she rejects Kody as an act of sibling defense. You hurt Isabel, so you don't get access to me. She is the quiet avenger of her sisters. 2. The Robin the Architect theory. This one is darker. Many fans believe Robin is not devastated by Truly's distance. She is relieved. Every child who withdraws, one less competitor for resources, one less person in the inheritance line, one less person to buy Christmas gifts for. According to user Sonroin Truth, Robin whispers poison into Kody's ear. Truly is too far gone. She's been brainwashed by Christine. Save your love for the ones who truly love you, Saul and Ari. This narrative funnels directly into Kody's upcoming collapse. Part 4. Kody's narcissistic collapse. A narcissist cannot psychologically survive abandonment. It creates a devastating narcissistic injury. When the supply, the child's adoration, is cut off, the narcissist spirals. And Kody is spiraling. His reaction to Truly's alleged rejection will not be grief. It will be rage. He will run a smear campaign. He will paint himself as the martyr. You can already see the opening act. I tried. I reached out. Christine poisoned her. He will cling to this lie because the truth is unbearable. Truly evaluated him and rejected him. If he admits David is a better father figure, he must admit he failed. And Kody Brown rewrites history before he admits failure. So expect more interviews where he blames Christine, David, the internet, the fans, everyone but himself. We can't ignore this part. Kody is terrified of poverty. He has admitted this openly. Truly pulling away isn't just emotional loss, it is financial loss. If she won't film with him, if she refuses to sit beside him on that reunion couch, the network notices. The producers notice. The audience definitely notices. And Kody knows this. If the family story disappears, the paycheck disappears with it. This is not just a father losing a daughter. This is a man watching his empire crumble. Tonight, we're stepping into the moment that officially shattered the Brown family legacy. The moment truly Brown chose a new father and Kody Brown finally realized the dynasty he bragged about for 20 years has turned to dust. Let's begin. The fall of the patriarch. Kody Brown built his entire identity on one illusion, that he was the center of a massive, loyal, loving family. But what happens when the last child, the one who was supposed to never leave him, finally walks out of his shadow? Kody's value as a reality star collapses. Because without the wives, without the kids, he isn't a patriarch. He isn't a leader. He isn't even a character. He becomes a lonely, angry man pacing around a Flagstaff McMansion with one wife and zero legacy. He knows it. He feels it. And that's why this moment, truly choosing David, is the earthquake he never saw coming. Scene A vs Scene B. The proof you cannot deny. Picture this. Scene A, 2 years ago. A Brown family gathering. Kody is loud, frantic, hair swinging like a man performing a circus act for an audience begging to leave. And truly, she's in the corner. Arms crossed. Head down. Phone in hand. When Kody walks toward her, she physically steps back. Her eyes drop. She mumbles. A child making herself small. A child trying to disappear. That is survival mode. Scene B. Today. A TikTok from David's family barbecue.
Truly is laughing, dancing,
High-fiving David like it is the most natural thing in the world. She isn't shrinking. She isn't hiding. She is loud. She is comfortable. She is herself. That is what healing looks like. That is what safety looks like. The body keeps the score, and Truly's body is finally relaxed. And Kody, sitting alone in Flagstaff scrolling TikTok, has to see it. He has to see that the light he bragged about giving his children was actually a shadow. The new family, and the empty throne truly, is at the age where identity is formed, where you choose who you are and who you belong to. And she has chosen the woolly world, the normal world, the world with laughter, burgers, and actual love. For a child raised in the pressure cooker of polygamy, normalcy is intoxicating. David offers that normalcy in a way Kody never could. And that's why this moment is final. You cannot undo 15 years of neglect with one phone call. You cannot undo a forgotten birthday. You cannot undo the no-hug moment. These moments tattoo themselves into the psyche. And when Truly said, David doesn't just visit, he stays, that was the period at the end of the sentence. Truly has grieved the father she wanted. She has accepted the father she has. And she has released the father she was given. Kody hasn't just lost a wife in Christine. He has lost his legacy. The dynasty is dead. The boys don't speak to him. The older girls only mention him with sarcasm. And now the youngest daughter, the last ember of the original family, has extinguished the light. The Brown family dynasty is officially dead. And the cruel irony? Kody killed it himself. His obsession with control, priesthood power, and polygamist authority turned his children into distant planets orbiting a sun that had long burned out. The 18th birthday, the ticking time bomb. Let's talk about the moment Kody fears most, Truly turning 18. Because at 18, Truly gets the one thing Kody can't control, a voice. She can sit on a podcast. She can write a memoir. She can tell the world every moment Kody thought she didn't remember. She becomes a a witness to the pain, a witness to the truth. If Kody keeps blaming Christine, if he keeps pretending he was the victim, Truly will not stay silent forever. And when she speaks, Kody's image, his ego, his patriarch identity,
Gone.
forever. The birthday line, the cut deepest of all. Why would I care if he comes? I already have a dad here, who actually knows my birthday. That line, that one line tells us everything. David makes her feel celebrated. Kody made her feel forgotten. Biology creates a father. Presence creates a parent. The final verdict: this is not a tragedy for Truly. This is a triumph. Truly Brown broke the cycle. She stepped out of polygamy's darkness and into a home that actually loves her. She refused to be the invisible daughter. She chose the dad who stays. She chose the life that heals. She chose herself. She is not lost.
She is not broken.
She is the hero of this story. And Kody? He is the man sitting alone in an empty throne room, wondering where everyone went. Question of the day now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Truly is justified in calling David her real dad? If Kody keeps blaming Christine, if he keeps pretending he was the victim, Truly will not stay silent forever. And when she speaks, Kody's image, his ego, his patriarch identity,
Gone.
forever. The birthday line, the cut deepest of all. Why would I care if he comes? I already have a dad here, who actually knows my birthday. That line, that one line tells us everything. David makes her feel celebrated. Kody made her feel forgotten. Biology creates a father. Presence creates a parent. The final verdict: this is not a tragedy for Truly. This is a triumph. Truly Brown broke the cycle. She stepped out of polygamy's darkness and into a home that actually loves her. She refused to be the invisible daughter. She chose the dad who stays. She chose the life that heals. She chose herself. She is not lost.
She is not broken.
She is the hero of this story. And Kody? He is the man sitting alone in an empty throne room, wondering where everyone went. Question of the day now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Truly is justified in calling David her real dad?